abundance in all its positive ways, because we could have abundance of a bunch of stuff we don't want. And she helps entrepreneurs transform their relationship with money so that they can support themselves financially with the work that they love. It's wonderful to know your passion and your purpose and to be out there helping all these people. But it really is wonderful when at the same time your bank account is full. And if that is something you think, I could work on that a little, I could probably improve that, then Scarlett just might be the person for you. I love the biz hippie is your tagline there. Welcome to the show, Scarlett.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited for this conversation today.
Me too. Okay, so talk to us. How did this begin to be your journey and story? Because for wisdom so wise, I have to say you are so very young and beautiful looking. I am 53 and fabulous and thinking, dang it, I wish I would have had it figured out as young as Scarlett.
Yeah, well, I mean, figured out is a really broad term, but what I can say, yeah, I definitely had a really young rock bottom. Lucky for me, I hit that rock bottom pretty hard at a very young age. And so how I got to where I am now is growing up, I was the type A high achiever perfectionist. I was the straight A student. I was also the 8-year-old with migraine headaches. And this bled into my young adulthood. I started working in the restaurant industry as a hostess when I was 16. And by the time I was 18, I was managing these restaurants. So then by the time I was 20, I was a workaholic. I was managing restaurants, had a team of 30 staff beneath me, was paying for college out of pocket, getting my bachelor's degree in business management, accounting, and finance, maintaining my 3.9 GPA, paying for school out of pocket, no student loans, no credit card debt, and had $30,000 in savings. And so on paper, I was like crushing it. I was checking all the boxes. I was doing everything right. And I was really good at following the path of success and what I believed success to be. But at the same time, even though on paper everything looked great, I was absolutely dead inside. I felt like a zombie living through my own life. I was passive. I felt like I had no control. Life felt meaningless to me. I was depressed. I had weekly migraines and I was covered head to toe in eczema because it was just so uncomfortable to be in my own skin. And I didn't even realize that my life was such in misalignment, but I had been chasing success and money really was in control of my life. So eventually I hit a hard rock bottom. I woke up and realized, wow, life was passing me by. And if I just kept waiting for someday when I reached more success, when I reached more money, that I would miss my life. And so instead, I started to get in control of my life and discover, who am I? What's important to me? What kind of life do I want to live? What is actually important to me if I'm not chasing money and letting money define me? And that's when I began my personal growth journey. And then a couple years later, started my life coaching business, started saying yes to every opportunity that came my way, like becoming a yoga instructor and a Reiki practitioner and traveling the world and attending retreats and just getting my hands on anything I possibly could. And then about a year into my business, I realized that, wow, money really is the thing that has held me back in my life and that holds most people back in their lives. So when it comes to living my own abundant life that I love, transforming my relationship with money really was the key. And I find that that is the key for other people as well. So that's when I shifted my whole business and whole purpose to focus specifically on this mission.
The story about how it manifested, not just in migraines, but physically in eczema. I mean, your skin is so porcelain and beautiful and perfect looking now.
Wow.
And wow, what a transformation inside and out. And how exciting for you to have been able to achieve it so soon. And I love that you're now spending your life helping other people reach for that. So sometimes people don't even know they don't have a good relationship with money. So before we get to a tip, give us like how how would somebody put the finger on that, or how does a customer identify themselves as someone I really should be talking to Scarlett, or have a one-on-one with her, or do a discovery call, or who is that person? What's
Oh,
happening?
totally. That's such a great question because when we look back at my story as well, I was someone who, on paper, people thought I really had a great relationship with money, and yet I didn't. And it's hard
Mhm.
to think about like what your relationship with money even is. And so, your relationship with money is made up of three things: it's how you think about money, how you feel about money, and how you use your money. So, it's made up of your primary beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and what your bank account actually looks like, how you spend your money. And those
Mhm.
are the three areas that really define your relationship with money. So you could be someone who has good amounts of money in the bank account, but you don't really know where it's going. It feels like it's slipping through your fingers. It feels like no matter how hard you work or what you do, it's never enough. You're scraping by, you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes you feel good, and then other times you're stressed out and you're wondering where's it going. And you're thinking that someday in the future, when I have more, then things will be better, then things will be different. That's just one example, but it's a very common example. And
Mhm.
when we're outsourcing our power to thinking like someday when I have more money isn't actually the solution. It's your relationship with money that
Mhm.
changes how you feel about money. It changes your ability to have enough money to live your life and to be able to support yourself financially. So if you're
Hello, everybody out there. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. It's an interview series that's been coming to you for 10 years now. We feature industry experts from all over the globe. They help improve your personal life or grow your business. And really, I feel like Scarlett does a little bit of both. She is a money and an abundance coach.